Not enough people understand these, so let's talk tile generator size modes. The default size mode is a fancy word called interstice. While in this mode, adjusting the size parameter scales the interstice, or the space between the shapes, instead of the shapes themselves. I don't prefer this mode, and in fact it's conspicuously missing from the tile sampler node. I personally find it counterintuitive because I'm really dumb and I don't like that bigger number does not equal bigger shape, and that to get a bigger shape you actually have to plug in a smaller, or in some cases negative, number. Normal size, or just normal mode on a tile sampler, is my default mode of choice. This behaves how you'd expect. Bigger number does in fact make a bigger shape. Keep ratio is pretty cool. You'll notice that in other modes, the amount of shapes in X and Y can change the relationship between the X and Y size of those shapes. Sometimes this is expected and fine, but if you are tiling something where that size relationship matters, then it can suck because you can end up stretching and or squashing the shape as you change the amounts. Setting size to keep ratio will fix this and allow you to place non-meme skulls, for example. Absolute is also really great. In other modes, changing the amount in X or Y also changes the size by a commensurate amount. Again, this can be fine, but isn't great if we're scattering stuff that should have a consistent physical size regardless of how many of them we want. For example, we may want more or less of these footprints, but there's no reason for them to get bigger or smaller as we change how many of them are present. Setting the size mode to absolute allows us to achieve this. Pixel mode allows you to set the size of each input shape in pixels. This can be useful when you need specific sized objects regardless of the size of the graph. This, like absolute, is useful for if you have something whose size should remain consistent, and importantly, you plan on altering or allowing someone else to alter the size of the parent graph. Hope you picked something up. Make sure to subscribe for more Substance Designer content.